Had a little listen to his podcast, huh?
Dude, it's educational. And besides, I've been wanting to listen to this one.
Welcome to Idling in the Impala, a podcast by and for lovers of supernatural and the fanfiction it inspires. I'm Kasey.
I'm Sandra, and we've got another writing challenge update in this episode, but it's not just a writing challenge. Nope, we're talking about the PodTogether 2025 challenge, where writers and podficcers create together. The writer creating text specifically intended for audio, and the podficker creating the audio. The great thing about this challenge was getting to work with a group of friends and collab on something truly unique. So we've got a couple guests joining us today to talk about the entire process from start to finish. Jackie, Jinkies, Would You Look at This, and BJ, Darrelly Starscream, are the two buds who hopped in the back seat for this wild ride with Kasey and me. I can't think of a better group to be stuck in the middle with for PodTogether 2025. Thanks for joining us, and welcome back to the podcast, Jackie and BJ.
Welcome!
Thanks,
Hello.
guys. How are you?
Hello, I'm good, whatever it is, wherever you are.
So, it's very late. It's a Friday. It's a Friday night. And we've been probably getting together for a few Fridays over the past couple months to talk about this lovely project that we did, which I did giggle at in the beginning before we were on camera. And Kasey's like, "This, you're not making this serious if you're actually going to be giggling about this great thing that we're doing."
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to start with maybe background on how this collab idea percolated, because I think it was Jackie that posted it in the Discord.
I have no idea. I just got summoned. I was just like told, like, "Hey, I'm going to do this. Are you with me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess so."
But Jackie started it.
I did.
Oh, well, Jackie.
Why did you start it, Jackie?
Well,
What did you decide to do?
I didn't know I was starting it. I saw a post on Tumblr talking about the challenge, and I said, "Oh, hey, I know somebody that does podficking, and maybe Sandra would be interested in this." So I shared it as just a, "Hey, did you know this was a thing that existed?"
Yeah.
And Sandra was like, "Cool, thank you." And I was like, "Awesome." And then a little while later,
Well, in between all that. So this was the very start. I think this is the very start of summer, right before summer started. I can't remember.
something like
But
that.
I was getting inundated with a whole bunch of there's a summer podfic summer swap thing that was going on. And I think Mass might have been the one that posted that in there, or maybe I posted about it. I can't remember. Anyway, for somebody who says, "No, I should not do any challenges because there's not enough time," I found myself doing
do a lot
lots of
fucking
challenges, which I probably shouldn't be doing anymore, but I'm doing a lot of them. And I think this was around the time when maybe BJ, Becca, and Paula Dreamer, I think, had just put out that writing in Dean's POV that I think you and I both did. Maybe a little bit after that.
I remember you talking about having an angsty Dean fix. I don't know.
And then it was like, well, here's this thing. No, I really don't have time to do this. I'm not going to do this. So I put it away for maybe a few days, maybe. And then I was like, but then I looked at it and I really read through it. I'm like, oh, wait, I can actually I could work with somebody that I want to work with and make it a group. So of course I was like, "Kasey, would you like to come and do this podfic thing with me?" And they were like, because never one to say no to anything at all. "Yeah, sure. That sounds like a great idea. We could do that."
Cool. Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's ever been a point in time when you've said no to me for anything.
No. No.
Just then.
No, I genuinely, I don't think there is. Whatever idea you come to me, I'm like, "Yeah, we'll make it work. Yeah, we'll make it work."
I love you for that. I love you for
I'm
that.
a very amenable person.
And then I was like, well, we could do more than one writer in this. And I was like, well, Jackie brought it to me. Said,
She did specifically mention Jackie. She was like, I'm gonna put this back on Jackie. I'm gonna be like, "Jackie, you did this. Get involved, fucker."
And then I was like, and I'd really like to work with BJ because
Yes.
I think you guys bring so many different things to your writing. But BJ kind of just does this thing to my brain where it's makes things just go in places they shouldn't go. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're making me feel things, person. Don't do this. Don't do this to me. And like the dean part of it just makes me die over and over and over again. I think that was like right after I'd read BJ, which we're going to have you on at some point back again to talk about this other fic. But the Ways of Childhood that you wrote for...
I am fundamentally changed by that fic. Like it is one of those fics that, you read something sometimes and you're like, this has altered my brain chemistry. Like you're fundamentally a different person for having read it. That is, Ways of Childhood is that for me. Like,
and that was
fundamentally.
Like, this is a group of people that I would want to collab with in a very new way. And I think I felt safe that you guys would be okay with doing it with me, So I think that was it too.
Not to sound like me and Sandra are mean girls or anything, because we're not. But it's a very select group of authors that I would be able to collaborate with. I wouldn't be able to collaborate with everybody.
I'm slowly getting through Do-Over, Jackie, as Thor is attesting to. I'm slowly making my way through Do-Over because I go through like cycles of stuff. And I love what you're doing with like
red list, Jackie.
I love what you're doing with the time travel stuff and like the back and forth and the way you're like the way you're positioning it and going back and forth. I think it's really clever and it's really good, and it just makes sense. A lot of people can muck that up, and you're not mucking it up at all. So,
yay,
and you wrote
good.
really, really hot porn scene. I was very impressed by this porn scene that Dean was watching. I was like, damn, girl, get it. It was really good. It was really, really good.
Sometimes I surprise myself with the porn because it's not easy.
It was really good. Like, I was like, you were doing other things to other parts of my life.
Here's slightly tangentially about that. But I've only ever written sex scenes between the characters that I'm actually writing in a story. So like Sam and Dean, reader, Dean, reader, whatever. But I recently, in a fic that I'm working on at the moment, wrote a scene between two other people, like completely unrelated to the story, just like two background. They didn't even have names, just two like people in the background of what the main character could see. And I went so much further with that than I had ever gone with anything that I'd written, like with my characters. So much so that the person I'm writing the fic for, I had to drop them a message like, hi, real quick, this has happened, and I need to know if this is one of your squicks, because if it is, I'll walk it back. But I didn't intend for this to happen, and now that it has, I just need to check that you're okay with it. And the person was okay with it, and I sent them like the text when it was finished, and they were like, that's excellent, this is fine. But I was really surprised how much easier it is to write porn with people that you're not like invested in, maybe, I guess. Did you find that, Jackie?
Yeah, well, and particularly with that scene, it was something that was the character that I was writing was something he was watching. So there's a level of distance. Like there's another layer of distance there, which did make it easier. Yeah.
It was really good.
I also may have done some research and then just sort of like described.
I was like, Jackie. Really good.
It's on my to-be
It's on your list. It's on your list.
It's on my list. It is.
I think for anything like this, a project like this, and I mean, I'm figuring we're going to get your take on it too. Like, you have to have a certain amount of like, I trust these people that I'm going to work with.
100%.
So I wanted to have you guys on board for this. We tried to wrangle Dreamer in. Dreamer was like, hey, because we would have loved Dreamer, but Dreamer was our beta, our ride or die beta.
She had real life.
Brainstormed.
She had real life things, but she was like, I'll brainstorm with you and I'll beta it. But Dreamer had real life stuff that could not commit to actually writing within a timeline.
It was a great group to work with, I think, overall. But
100%.
So Jackie brought us in. I decided, yes, I'm going to commit. And everybody else agreed. So I'm going to start with Jackie first because I hit Jackie up first. And then I was like, Kasey, should we ask BJ? Kasey was like, yes, let's ask BJ. Because I think we thought, because yes, I did. I did.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You didn't. You went, I want Jackie and BJ and Dreamer for this. You got me because I am like apparently physically incapable of saying no to you. And it doesn't matter what you ask me. You're like, yeah, we'll make it work. It's fine. No, and then you were like, I want to get Jackie and BJ and Dreamer in on this. And I was like, I would love to work with those people. Yes.
Okay.
You might have reached out to Jackie first, but everybody was on the same level.
I think I was more hesitant about BJ, which we'll get to it a little bit. But Jackie, what did you think when I asked you?
Did you know this would backfire on you so spectacularly when you said, "Hey, Sandra, look at this podfic thing"?
I did not. And then when Sandra came back and said, "Hey, we're thinking of doing this thing. Do you want to do it with us? We would love to have you do it with us." And I was like, I get yes. Yeah. And sort of like jokingly, mentally kicking myself, going, I should have seen that coming, but I didn't see it coming.
Because, you have so much free time too, Jackie.
Oh,
you're not doing anything. I mean,
Not doing anything.
What are you
no.
doing? What are you doing? Just running a podcast.
Just got acres of free time.
It's fine.
Just days of nothing that we've all got going on.
We'll find time.
To just schedule meetings and brainstorming sessions that we said we were going to record every fucking time, and no recording was ever bloody made. We said we were going to do a transcript, and no transcript was ever made. And the one time there was a transcript made, somebody forgot to save it, and that's not important.
Luckily, we had enough notes. It was good.
Yeah,
we had Sandra takes impeccable notes. Like, if you have to do a project, you need a Sandra in your project because she takes.
Jackie was taking notes too, so we did that. I think we got at least the first round of it. We did pretty well with that. Yeah,
I'm not a note taker. I'm not your note taker person.
Yeah, no.
I'll remember this.
Sticky notes.
Sticky notes. Yeah.
The devil and a devil is a liar.
So BJ, I think. I was more like, I don't know if BJ will say yes, because
we've tried to get you in bangs with us before, and you've always said that you don't like writing to a deadline, and stuff like that.
It's not that I don't like writing to a deadline. It's I'm a flake. I know I'm a flake, and I mean, even for this, with a really relaxed time frame, and y'all being extremely gentle with me, I'm like, literally, because I don't outline, and I threw together my part at pretty much the last minute.
That's okay.
A lot of, frantic little polishing, and I'm a procrastinator. It's my curse.
Do you feel like that's just that's how it works with you, and then you just kind of pound out this greatness in a short amount of time, and we're like, what the hell?
Greatness is overstated.
No, it's not.
It's not even a little bit. No, it's
no, it's not.
No, it's not.
We're not going to let you do this.
Don't talk about my friend like that.
It isn't even so much, writing deadlines, because I've had experiences, and this is way, way, way back long ago, where, I commit to something like, hey, I'm going to write this comedy I'm going to write this comedy fic, about one of the characters from Star Wars getting thrown in jail for indecent exposure. That's not the exact scenario, but it's close enough.
I'd read that.
I don't want to put people in a position where they're going to have to, patch up the hole I leave when I can't keep to a deadline or I fail to meet a commitment.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad enough when it's work related, but when it's friends, it's especially awful.
Oh, but I think that was the thing too. We really didn't want. I guess there's no way to get around the pressure you put on yourself, right? But we just didn't. We wanted you to feel, and everybody involved in it, that at the end of the day, we could have just said no. We just can't do the thing.
I think this was a really good low stakes, because everybody that was involved was here, and we were all friends. Oh, it's not like if you can't make a bang and you leave your artist in the lurch or something like that. We were all here, and we were all friends. So if something had come up, it would have been fine. Nobody would have been. PodTogether would have had one less work, but it would have been fine.
Yeah.
And I think for what this was, because we were all collaborating, there were 3 of us writing, and it had a pretty low minimum word count,
That was helpful. I really liked that. Yeah.
It took a lot of stress off. I mean, there's always the stress of how to say what I want to say without just it getting away from me, because I think we've all had that happen where you're it's going to be short, and then it ends up you're 3 months later, you're when will this fic end? And it will never, never gets there.
Be done.
This one wasn't a problem with it though.
And because it wasn't we agreed on a fairly low word threshold, but we weren't really strict about it. So
Yep.
I'm not having to micromanage sentences to make sure it fits exactly 1,000 words. Because I understand that every story is collapsible and editing for length is a good thing. But having to micromanage my vocabulary to that degree is really irritating.
Yeah.
I mean, poor Dreamer must have been driven to distraction because she had to go back and re-edit all of my, little grammar quirks.
She lives for that.
Which I stand by the way. 2 spaces at the end of a period is the correct way to do it, and I'm going to die on that particular hill. But I understand she needed to standardize it so that it would look nice when it was posted.
Some things that you write, you're just engaged to, and they can be changed and moved. And some things you're fucking married to, and that's forever. And if you like a double space after a period, then that's totally fine. I don't have a problem with that. I do not have a problem with that. But she is super used to wrangling my bullshit, and she lives for it. She loves it. So I guarantee you she had the best time.
She does enjoy it a lot. Yeah, we were really lucky to have somebody that likes to do it.
The short version of the answer to that, is on the one hand, deadline stress. This is my hobby. I don't want it to add stress to my life. On the other hand, I already had good relationships with Sandra and Kasey, and the little I knew of Jackie, she's awesome. So I felt that it was, a way to get used to the concept, I guess, of working collaboratively.
Right.
Because honestly, I've never done that in fic before. I'm always just, I'm a solo act. I have been for forever.
Well, that was my next question too, was how much experience you both of you've had writing collaboratively. So Jackie.
No, I'd never done it either. That was the other thing that when you came to me and I was kind of one, there was a little guilt on my end, not on your end, because I was I did kind of lob that at her. So, but then I was I've never, but I know, again, it worked because I know y'all, so I felt more comfortable kind of working with that. I think it worked out really, really well.
Yeah.
You are in this year's Wincest Big Bang, though, Jackie.
I am, yeah.
Have you been paired up with your artists and stuff yet? Or I'm not in the bang this year, so I don't know.
Yep, nope. I have an artist, and things are plugging along. I cheated when I signed up because I had a fic that was 95% done.
I knew you.
That's not cheating, though. That's just being able to use something that you've already got done. That's not cheating.
Yeah,
that's not cheating at all.
So
just for clarity's sake, I've done 2 bangs, half a bingo, and I'm in another bingo, and Sandra's done.
Shh.
I think you're in your 3rd bang now.
I'm doing another Dean Winchester Big Bang. I don't know why I did this to myself.
Bingo. And Sandra's
I'm not doing a bingo.
No, you did Jackal's verse bingo with me, didn't you?
I did that. Yes.
Yeah.
I did
and then you've
Big
done.
Bang.
You did Dean Win Big Bang, Wincest Big Bang. You're in Dean Win Big Bang again. You did Jackal's verse bingo with me. She filled out more of her bingo card than I did.
I did.
You've done alphabet challenge.
Yeah, I've done alphabet.
Well.
I've done a little bit of Fanfic Pond did a March thing for women, SPN women that I used to finish one of my the Priestley and Rowena thing. I finally got that done, and then I did the Impala Dream Rebecca's Dean POV. I have to get 2 stories done for Zepsky's 5,000 followers thing in a week and a half that I'm just realizing. And then I did the summer Podfic swap, did this. Please, somebody take away my ability to sign up for things because I'm realizing this is not a good idea. But I don't know why I'm doing this to myself right now. I'm trying to figure it out, but I'm really oh no, why don't I try this? Yeah, this sounds like a good idea. I think Casey's to blame.
Bang Dean.
I'm in a Kinktober as well. And you should be hella proud of me, Sandra. You should be hella proud of me because I have resisted signing up for the Wincest J2 Kinktober event.
Okay.
I have resisted.
Okay.
I wanna, but I didn't.
I know. Yeah.
So the lesson of this story, Cassandra's just going to blaze past and not say all the things that she's done and the things that I've done. So the lesson of this is Sandra has got herself in way too deep with fandom challenges and is now just dragging her friends down with her.
Well, Okay, but here's my thing though. I think how do I put this? You're really being very vulnerable when you write with somebody. I think there's a vulnerability to that that's different than signing up for a challenge, or when you work collaboratively, like in a bang situation, where you've got the writer and the artist, unless you're really working on something together. I think there's just a different aspect of writing because you're
100%.
You give of yourself. I think when you write so for me, for this context, for anybody who's listening, because we really didn't even explain what the PodTogether thing was. So that's probably something we should have done. So like I said, I was going to be the podficker in this situation, and BJ, Jackie, and Kasey were going to be the writers. So we basically had to work on something where it wasn't just like I find a story and I podfic it. We're working together to brainstorm the idea of this. What are we going to write about? Like, what are they going to write about? And then what am I going to do? And I get collaborative feedback from them as well in that process. So we had a whole idea. Well, we had no idea when we first got started. But I think when we did the first brainstorm, I think what made the most... We'll never know.
There are no records.
But I think what made the most sense was we were thinking 3 writers, a three-part story.
Yeah.
And I think, Kasey, we probably cheated a little bit because I thought immediately to what we did with Dandelion Dreaming way back. Which, by the way, my friend...
Oh, that's another fucking collab.
5 years. 5 years. It's going to be 5 years in September.
It is going to be 5 years
that we've done
September.
And
our
now we've done this
friendship is going
other thing.
to school.
And now we've done this other thing that's like collab in this way. It's like a full circle thing. But I think when we got saddled in, Dandelion Dreaming basically was like, come on. So like, Dandelion Dreaming
you
was
were
the one that got
Dandelion
us.
Dreaming for this. You just hauled everybody in. You were like, we're doing this now.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she was like, let's do this thing where, I've got this idea for this based off of like the Perfect Day song. And she was going to write a part. Then Kasey was going to write a part. And then I was going to write a part. So we kind of got the chance to build off of each other based off of that first story. And I think the way all of us started brainstorming was, well, what do we want to write about?
It's worth pointing out at this time that in that first brainstorming session, because I write Wincest, Jackie writes Wincest, Sandra does not write Wincest, and neither does BJ.
Well, I have, but I don't. It's not my go-to.
But you don't. It's not your primary thing. So I think pretty quickly we were like, because BJ very graciously was like, if you all want to do Wincest, I will try my hand at Wincest. Like, it's not my thing, but and I think pretty quickly we were like, let's not make this like a romantic thing in any capacity. Let's keep it utterly like brothers, like totally platonic, normal, not even weird cest.
Yeah, but they're not really normal.
Yeah, they're not normal to begin
supernatural
with.
normal
standards of weird.
As Jackie says, they're weird about each other. So it's a thing. Yeah. They're weird about each other. Yeah.
Sam and Dean appear emotionally incestuous to others due to a lack of boundaries. Yeah. But not anything romantic and not anything sexual. And I think that really helped because that gives you a whole lot more room to play with in terms of what you can do, and also made the word count just feel a lot easier for me.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Easier.
Yeah. So I think thinking about it in acts, I think is what kind of like maybe helped at least to start, like knowing like each person would contribute a part to the story, and it could be their voices, their interpretation. But like, I think the fun part was seeing, can we actually have it make sense? Is it going to be a thing that's going to feel cohesive? So what I liked listening when you guys were talking about ideas was, I think first of all, it was like, well, what, like, we just want to have them, we want to have them in the car, or we just want to have like, different moments with them. Can anybody remember anything in particular about any of our first one?
Because I think the car came up pretty quick.
Because we were thinking about it from the end point of it being podfic. So I remember we brought up the idea of them talking, and then like different ways we could play with that, that you could play with that when putting that together at the end. And then from there we started brainstorming. So I know then we were like, trying to think of other locations that they could be in, because of course, where are they always hanging out? They're hanging out in diners. They're, hanging out in laundromats. They're hanging out, I don't have the notes up in front of me, so I can't remember. We came up with a few different like
motel rooms, diners,
the motel room,
in the car, laundromats, stuff like that. Yeah. But like Jackie's right, actually, we did very much work backwards from what is going to give Sandra the most to play with in terms of narration, in terms of sound editing, sound effects, things to play with, and then sort of like working that back to, okay, well, what makes the most sense?
Giving Sandra the opportunity to put her own creative stamp on the final product.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I was interested in playing around with sound more, because I'd been doing it with a couple other things, not a lot. And I think knowing that I could bringing the feeling of the environment in and different things like that. And then we started talking about like, left balance, right balance, like, because that was the thing too. We were
Sandra and Jackie got into that. Both of them are podfic podcast editors for respective podcasts. So they were like, well, you could do this in Audacity. And if you just tweak this a little bit and you can move the balance and blah, blah, blah. And me and BJ were like, sure, those are English words.
Okay.
So yeah, I was. I don't want to speak for BJ.
Sound go.
Yeah, BJ might be a secret sound like audio engineer, but I was like, those are certainly words that just were said, but I know what balance means, but none of this.
I think I'm at the point now too, where it's just like it felt like it needed to be a little bit more of a challenge too, like the narration. I was like, okay, but I'm like, if 3 people are going to put their small heart and soul into a small amount of work for this, I was like, how can we kind of like level it up a little bit more? And I've done a little bit of stuff with like one of Kasey's fics, Idling in the Impala, where I added some car sounds and different things that way. And I'm like, so I already knew that was something that could be put in. And then I'd found a resource that had all of these free sounds, like just like stock sounds and stuff that I could just use. I was like, I could probably go crazy. And I did a little bit, but it was fun. It was fun to go crazy with that. So yeah, I think the other thing that happened too, though, was like, I think amidst all of this working backwards, didn't a theme start to show up in terms of like, what could they talk about? What would be something they would like this repeating? Because we always like to talk about the repetition. Somebody talks about repetition in life and how when you're with somebody, things just keep repeating. And I think money became one of the things that would sort of be woven in to each story.
Well, because conflicts about money can stand in as proxy for so many other things.
Yeah.
Well, and even though we were keeping it in the gen, category with it, they are still very much, for lack of a better word, a couple, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the issues that they have are couple.
It's a partnership.
Issues. It's a partnership,
right? They're a partnership. They've been together forever.
Yeah.
I forgot where I was going with that. Anyway.
Well, and when that happens, and we all know that, like one of the most common sources of conflict in relationships is oftentimes financial.
Yeah.
It's about money. It's so that got brought up at some point, and I don't remember how it ended up on the list. And then we were all as we were brainstorming ideas, we were like, hold on, money seems to be on all of these.
I think we were just throwing out ideas about like, because I think we were maybe thinking about snapshots of conflict or arguments, something like that. And then we were just throwing out ideas of what they could be fighting about. And then money kept coming up, and we were like, oh, this is probably this is probably the bit. Yeah. And also like BJ said, so many things can, like, money can become a proxy for so many things, and so many arguments can, build and build and build. And then money is the thing that tips it over the edge. And, oh, you're mad because you spent so much on dinner last night, but secretly I'm mad about this second other thing that I've not mentioned to you, but I'm gonna make it about money because that seems a little bit more reasonable than, But yeah, I think we were just throwing out ideas of places we could put them and conflicts they could be having, and money became the through line of that we were like, oh yeah, no, that's it.
Yeah.
It's the simplest to work with, and it's the most universal.
Yeah.
In canon, it's an ongoing argument all the way up until the final season, when Chuck pulls the luck switch and all of a sudden their bank cards stop working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, I think it gets glossed over a little bit in canon, but I'm just like, how do you live on the road like that? I mean, I get credit card scams and stuff like that, but like, I don't know. I'm sure I remember doing the calculations with you in Discord, Jackie, and being like, it's not actually that much fucking cheaper to live in the car when the time you factored in motel rooms and gas and oh yeah, you don't have to pay a power bill, but I have questions. Canon doesn't address it, but I have questions.
Yeah.
Living hand to mouth like that, and unfortunately I do speak from personal experience, is a lot more expensive than you might think. It wasn't as bad in the 80s and 90s before bank cards became universal. You could still do business on a cash basis. There are other types of scams that you could do then that are pretty much unavailable now. You play beat the check to the bank and lose type of things.
Oh yeah, forging checks actually used to could buy you like a week or longer because it would take that long for them to get deposited and clear.
Yeah.
And if there's an episode, I think it's the second or third episode of Roseanne, where they get an influx of cash and decide to get caught up on the bills.
Oh, it's like put it in the mail.
Right. Here we're going to send the power bill to the gas company and the phone bill to the power company. See, we're going to write this out, but we're going to forget to sign the check.
Can't
We're going
do
to make
that
sure
anymore.
the bill is turned backwards so you can't see the return address, so they get rejected by the post office.
Idling in the Impala in no way endorses credit
Of course
or
not.
Of course
check
not.
fraud.
First of all, these kind of scams don't work anymore.
Yeah, you can't do
So
that.
don't try them, basically.
Yeah, don't try. We do not. Idling in the Impala does not endorse writing dodgy checks and or committing credit card fraud. Only in
because you
Minecraft,
go
just to cover
jail
us.
That's right.
You may go to jail
if you get caught doing that. Just a quick aside, there was a thing about a year ago about a glitch where you could write bad checks from a Chase ATM and the ATM would cash it because there was a glitch in the software. There were people stupid enough to take films of themselves doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you stupid motherfuckers.
You've ruined it
Do
for
you not
everyone.
realize you can go to jail for that.
Good lord.
There's cameras in the ATMs too. That's part of what was catching them too.
Yeah.
Anywho, yeah, don't do crime, folks.
No.
Keep your crime
Unless you're Sam and
It's
Dean, then
cheaper
you
in the
gotta
long run to live above board.
Yes.
Keep your crime offline.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
and
Don't
fictional.
do crime at all.
And
You can keep it fictional, and then you can do all the crime you want,
Then you can
as
do
long
all
as
the
it's
crime you
fictional.
want. All the crime you
You can
want.
do in Minecraft. You can do whatever crime you want. Sandra
you
did
go.
not realize that was a meme, by the way.
No, of course not. Why would I know that? Why would I know that at all?
I offered to enact bodily harm on somebody, and we were on a call. So I followed it with the caveat in Minecraft, of course, because that's how you get away with threatening any kind of crime.
That was we were
"Really?"
on, we
And I
were
was
on
like,
a call with
no,
Ted. We were on a
no.
call with Ted, weren't we? I think it was
Yeah.
Ted.
Yeah.
Well, every now and then, when I'm talking violent revenge fantasies, and with that line from the MASH episode, between you, me, and whatever microphone I happen to be talking into, I'm kidding.
It's a way to get around on like YouTube censors to say something illegal and then be like, in Minecraft, we only commit tax fraud in Minecraft. We came to the conclusion the money was going to be like a good through line, and the car was going to be a good through line as well.
Yeah, that's what ended up happening. And I think I noticed this too, like as the stories were getting together, and Jackie, I think you did this a lot because you had the last part.
But
like I think
I had the last part but I wrote it first, which was ironic.
You wrote it first, but then I remember you actually going back and adding just a little something that tied it together perfectly, which was baby being that through line where baby had to be taken care of. I felt like in each of these scenes, like when I was reading about it, like Kasey started with the seasons. Who wanted to do what seasons for whatever reason? Kasey, did you just know you wanted to do early Sam and Dean?
No, we were spitballing ideas around and kind of, like claiming ideas based on what spoke to us. And I was like, I think I have something that's like set in an early season that I think I can work with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Jackie had said you had something like later down the line.
Well, what's funny is I was not that first brainstorming thing, because we threw out all our ideas, and when we were all like, yes, that's awesome, great, good, everybody knows, yes, and we like stopped the meeting and we all went our separate ways, and I realized I didn't know which time period or setting I was supposed to be doing. So I asked Kasey and BJ, and they're like, I don't know, I got to think about it. And I was like,
there was a frantic message went out in the Discord group chat, which was like, real quick, I have a couple of ideas. When are you setting yours so I can change mine around that? And me and BJ came back and we were like, I don't know. I think that was when I said, I was like, I have a bit of an idea for like an early seasons thing, but I'm not, I got to let it sit.
And that
for
was
a
our
minute.
first brainstorm. So yeah, that it made sense. Yeah.
I ended up writing 2 blurbs set in 2 different time periods and settings. And I was, and at some point I went, guys, and presented them. And that at that point I got, you both were like, oh, no, I'm going to do this. I was like, cool. That means this one works.
Yeah. Which is very unfortunate because they were both excellent. And I would have liked to see you write out both of them.
I lost part of the other one too. I have like the first half of it, but I had like more of it written than what I shared with you guys. And I think I deleted it by accident, but I think I kind of remember what, because that one might get written on its own. At another point.
Good. I only ever had the one idea. If I couldn't write that, I didn't know what I was going to do.
It worked out.
I think BJ, somebody was thinking of laundromat, right? Like laundromat was thrown out. But then BJ, I think you went with motel room, and you went with like season 8-ish. Was there any reason in particular?
Well, for one thing, and I've ranted about this before, so I'll spare y'all. I'm kind of fixated on that particular time in canon. Specifically Sam, I have a problem with his characterization during that arc. So I tend to come back to it a lot when I'm ranting. And when Jackie and Kasey both came back and said, well, we're doing our slots, beginning and end, something need to get stuck in the middle. And because I did want to write something relatively angsty, that was the natural starting point.
Who came up with the song?
I did have...
Who did that? I think it was BJ. I think it was you.
BJ. And it was early on as well. It might have been the first brainstorming session. It was really early on.
Because I think we were talking about the fact that the way, like, if we're thinking of Dean being like driver, Sam passenger, and I think somehow you got into that, like, then like we're stuck in the middle, like,
Yeah,
like,
it was y'all might have been talking about like fucking audio balance and left and right. And BJ was like clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. And
jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
Like, what is going? That is brilliant. This is brilliant. Who writes to music a lot? Who writes to music a lot in this group?
Me.
I don't. I think I'm the odd man out on that.
I don't do
when
it.
When you say writes to music, do you
get
mean
inspired? I think
right,
inspiration comes a lot from music. Like I will write sometimes to music to get me into like the feel of something. But like I know Kasey, you're like, this song is in my brain. I've got a fic. I'm gonna write about it. I think BJ, are you that way also?
I have a collection on AO3 that's song fics. So yeah, including some actual, interspace with the lyrics. And I feel kind of tacky doing that because that's one of the lowest forms of fic life is the song fic. But
no, sometimes
it's
the music
my fic
just...
and I'll have fun if I want.
Yeah, sometimes the music just speaks to you. I've ruined an entire album for myself. An entire album. And unfortunately, it happens to be like one of my favorites, which is Welcome to the Neighborhood by Meatloaf, disc 2, which is the live. It's like a live show that they recorded. And I ruined it because every single time I sat down to write my entry for the Wincest Big Bang, I would play that song. I would play those songs. I would play that disc because it just, I don't know. It just, something about it spoke to me, like the set list and everything. Something about it just spoke to me. It got me in the right vibe, the right headspace of writing that fic. And I've never fucking listened to it since. And I just don't know if I can ever go back.
It might take a while. It might take a while.
Now.
It's still pretty. It's not that long since you finished writing that. Too.
It's coming up on a year though. It is coming up on a year.
Doesn't matter when you get something that heavy. It's gonna take. Yeah. It's gonna take a while. Yeah.
I have written one song fic. So it's not like, even I've like, and I can't listen to music when I write. I don't tend to write based off vibe that way with it, but I have done a song fic. I think we all have at some point, you know?
Yeah.
At some point, one of the challenges me and Sandra are going to do, because we love a challenge. You love it. Shut up. Is we're going to exchange songs. We're going to exchange songs because me and Sandra have vastly different music taste. Humongously. And I promised that I wouldn't give her some like Norwegian black metal song. And she promised she wouldn't give me Taylor Swift. So
goodness.
we're gonna exchange songs and write a song fic based on the other songs. So I am already envisaging getting like New Kids on the Block or NSYNC or something like that.
I'd give you Backstreet Boys before I give you NSYNC.
Okay, Backstreet Boys. I don't keep up with the boy bands that you're into, bro. I don't know. It had a B in it. I was nearly there. Shut up.
Oh,
and do you know what? I remember when we came up with that idea. I remember knowing exactly what song I was going to give you. Fucking not a clue now, mate. You'll get whatever I'm goddamn listening to at the time.
That's fine. That's probably what I'll do too. I'll probably do that with you too when we do it. So we figured out music. And then I think it was like, my whole thing was, oh gosh, can I put the music in it? So, I mean, I think I made 3 different versions just in case. Cause like, I'd like to have most people be able to like listen to it everywhere. And then if something happened with another version, wouldn't have to worry about it as well. So yeah, we ended up doing that.
But also accessibility reasons. Some people cannot listen to narration with sound effects.
Yeah.
And we are inclusive.
And I had been reading up on that more too, where people were like, different ways to make things accessible for everyone and giving people options. I think one of the things we were like thinking about too with like the balance was like, BJ was like, that is not going to be something I want to listen to like throughout. Like it's going to make it's brain, like it's not going to work.
It's going to give me a headache.
Yeah. So it's like,
we're not trying to be the Beatles out here. Maybe you got one headphone and you miss half the fucking song.
So I was like, well, maybe just like to give the indication of it in the beginning.
In the middle.
Yeah. And then like get them back on track, like in the middle. But like that first indication of like, they're in the car, which was, I think, great to have Kasey's start out in the car because it gives you that this is what we're going to work with. And then you just know that from then on, they're just kind of like, yeah, they're coupled, partnered.
It actually worked out really well from like a symmetry aspect as well. Cause like my section can start with the song because they're already in the car, the radio can be on, and you get to BJ's and the song comes in kind of in the middle, and then you get to Jackie's and it comes in right at the end. Which is really like that's a lovely arch. I'm a huge fan of when it all works out.
Yeah.
And also from a diegetic standpoint, Stuck in the Middle is one of those songs that gets radio airtime a lot.
Yeah.
So it's something they would have heard and they would be familiar with, and something that would play on the Impala's radio or that Dean might have as part of his song collection.
Yeah, I like that. You look at you. I was like diegetic. I'm like, I'm trying to.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I was going to be like, I don't know what that means, but you explained it really well. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
If you put that in a fic, I'm holding, highlighting, and looking it up.
I went on this thing one time where I was trying to remember what the opposite of the diegetic was, and ended up having to look up. It's non-diegetic. I was like, really? That's it.
I don't like that.
Hello, brain. Thank you for overcomplicating things for me.
See, that's why I love like listening to the 3 of you, because I always learn something new every time a conversation's occurring. I'm like, diegetic? It's like, is that like digestion? Is that like a digestive? What are we talking about here? I'm like, okay.
For those that might need to know, diegetic sound is sound which happens in universe, which I actually had somebody, okay, wait, there's something else I want to tie to that in a second. But so diegetic is sound that happens in universe. So the characters in the story can hear it too. Non-diegetic is something that only the audience can hear, but the characters in universe cannot. So it's like, go ahead.
I'll give you an example. In Star Wars, the main theme is non-diegetic. It's there to set the tone. The Cantina band, however, is diegetic because it's part of the background noise of that specific scene.
Oh, Supernatural. Good God, y'all. That season 5, like when they're coming into the town, like it's playing, and you're thinking it's just playing for us, and then you realize it's coming out of the car radio.
Stereo.
Is Thor okay?
He's a chihuahua, so he makes gross noises sometimes just because he's fine.
I love that as your answer. Is Thor okay? He's a chihuahua. Yeah, that answers it.
It does.
Drama mama is part of the job description.
I know that now. That's great.
I'm now thinking of the Heath Ledger absolute banger movie, A Knight's Tale.
Yes.
Where for some reason, apropos of nothing, in this medieval movie, which is fully set in medieval times, it's not trying to it's not like a Ren fair or anything. And Queen's We Will Rock You just starts playing and the crowd is reacting to it, and it's it's not just for the sake of the audience. The crowd is singing and stomping and everything. And I remember talking to my friends about it and being like, where do the music be coming from? This is very weird. That movie is a banger, and if you haven't fucking seen it, you 100% should. It's got Heath Ledger, Mark Addy, the fella who plays Vision in the Marvel movies, whose name fucking escapes me.
Peter, something that starts with a B. I want to say Benchley, but that's the author.
Oh,
I know who you mean, though.
But I know why.
In some movies.
I know why the music is the way it is in that movie.
Why?
They were doing an artsy-fartsy sort of thing with it, but the idea was that in the time, these tournaments were basically like the monster truck rally wrestling match type things for that time, right?
Yeah.
So to give it this more for modern audiences to be able to connect more with sort of the vibe of what that would have felt like, they went with contemporary music in it. And even the dance, the feast dance thing that he goes to with her where they're dancing and he teaches them the dance from his homeland or whatever. They were trying to make it feel contemporary, it was a vibe thing. So they were going for that.
I heard that movie described as a medieval sports movie the other day, and I was like, yep, that's it. His name is Paul Bettany. That's his name.
Yes.
He's Vision in the Marvel movies. Alan Tudyk is also in that movie, and he's in everything, but he's in that movie with his own face. So if you haven't seen A Knight's Tale,
in everything, he's good.
Yes.
Yeah, he is. He should be in everything. The man is a legend. But if you haven't seen A Knight's Tale, you should go watch it, and then you could be like, oh, that music is interesting. And now we will have educated you on diagenic and non-diagenic music.
And I think what I liked about starting it off like that too was I think it ends up doing the same thing that Good God Y'all did, was the sound comes in before the scene, and then it actually becomes a part of the scene, like you said, Kasey, they're hearing it over the radio, and then it gets turned down, and Sam's talking about the case or whatever. So I like that. I like that happens when those things occur. We could probably keep talking, but I know it's getting late. So I guess brainstorming sessions. Right. Do you think we had our shit together?
Mostly.
I think so.
Okay, I want it noted that we are all on camera on Zoom, so I could see BJ go, no.
No. If y'all had your shit together, then my compliments, because if I have my shit together, it's by accident.
If everything is moderately in a pile, I'll take it.
I think we did really well. Like I said,
I did before. I don't know what the definition of shit together is.
I've never seen it happen.
I immediately had a question and reached out, and I got a bunch of "we'll get back to yous," but that worked because it's fair. We were all still thinking about it. It was just my little brain started whizzing, and I was like, I got to take advantage of this while it's happening.
But I think that was great, though, Jackie. I think you jumping on an idea, I do think it helped.
Kept the momentum going, certainly. Because then I was like, it was immediately forefront in my mind. Okay, Jackie's thinking about this. What can I do that works in around that? So it definitely helped the momentum.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. Yay, ADHD.
And I
The
think
brain has a bad transmission. It just spins in neutral for a while, but then it grabs the gear and
Yeah, it just takes. You just got to warm it up a little bit. You got to treat it gentle. You got to get there.
Yeah.
True.
Do you think we had enough brainstorming sessions?
Yeah, we had like a weekly brainstorming meeting for about 6 weeks, didn't we?
I think we did
We
maybe
met up every
I
week.
feel like I don't know if we did
So many.
F6. Yeah, I think we feel like maybe we
What a-
did 4.
Quite a bit.
Maybe 4 or
Something
5.
like
that.
Before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there was a lot of like time in between and we were like check in. Like I was like, okay, I don't want to like bug you guys to death. But like
I got bugged to death, by the way. She didn't bug you guys. I got nagged.
I did not. Did I nag you?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, no.
No, what happened was it just got slotted into the regular Kasey do list. And so the regular weekly Kasey do list just got a little bit longer. But you weren't actively nagging me about it.
We should
You were
also
just like,
say
this.
we are all like, well, Jackie and I are in the same time zone.
Right.
BJ is central.
So you're
And
an hour
behind.
And then we got Kasey all the way over there. And then when Dreamer would join us, I mean, we're talking like Australia. So,
Other side of the planet.
and I think the only time we could get it to work, we were trying to figure out everybody's availability. And it looked like Friday was like the sweet spot of like 7:30 at night on like for Jackie and I, which is like, I always get this wrong, BJ. I don't know why. Is it 6:30 for you? Like if it's 7:30, is
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
All right. For some reason, I always
Yeah,
want to make
it's,
you 5:30.
Central
I don't know
is an
why.
hour behind East Coast.
I know. I want to do that. What is it? Mountain? Is there another one in there? That's
Yes,
like 2
there's
hours.
a mountain one.
I
Which
keep wanting to put you in Mountain for some reason. I don't know why. And
That's 'cause
then
the
The
Central
mountains
time
are
zone
another 12 hours
is-
that way.
Yeah, the central time zone is huge. That's
yeah,
why.
I think that's
Yeah,
what-
but BJ though, could you move to Colorado just to appease Sandra's
No.
that she put you in the right time zone?
it seems like with the writing, stuff eventually kind of like slotted itself into place and people were bouncing ideas off of each other. Was it Jackie's that everybody's got to read first and then so everybody's like, okay, Jackie, here we go. And then Kasey was like, okay, I could do this thing, Kasey. And then BJ, we love you,
I
BJ.
was the last minute.
And you
Looney.
were just like, you were like, I'm so, and I'm like, it's okay. You'll get it. And then you did. And it was just,
And it was great.
it was right,
Yep.
again, right in the middle of like every scene had a different feel between the characters, the boys
Yeah.
themselves. You could almost see like, I think you really saw the growth and the change. And if you know the
Yeah.
story of them, they felt very in character for the time, I felt like. And to be able to do that in a really short amount of time. Oh, and then the thing that you guys all did. I was like, you guys all wrote from Sam. Like what
That
like,
was accidental, yeah.
What like
Yeah.
We had
was it Jackie? Was it because Jackie did it?
I didn't even realize I did it.
I was always
No,
gonna write mine
here's
from
the-
Sam's.
I didn't even know I did it until y'all pointed it out, and I went back and I was like, "Did I focus on one of their POVs?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I guess I did."
Because we talked about, again, in the brainstorming session, we talked about these things that we could pull through to, because we're all like, you've got 3 writers anyway, so you're gonna have some it's not going to read exactly the same, the 3 parts.
Right.
But we all have quite different writing styles as well. So we were like, well, nobody needs to fit in with everybody else. We want everyone's voice, but you need some threads
Right.
to pull through.
Mm-hmm.
So the car was one of them, the arguments about money. But one of the things that we decided to pull through was we would have Sam say, "So get this." We would like open with that because that's how so many of their cold conversations open. And I don't know if that like influenced any of us to just
Maybe.
if your opening line is a Sam line, does that
Not in mine.
is yours not the opening line?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Because
no.
the scenario that finally came to me after I'd thought about it a while, I had a few different ones that I was kind of kicking around. The front runner for a while was Dean loses a bet and has to pay up a significant chunk of cash. But then I saw that Jackie was writing hers around a missed sporting event, and well, that's not going to work. It's repetition on a theme. So the image that came to me finally was Dean emptying a box onto a motel room bed, and the two of them getting it up each other's noses for extravagant spending or extravagant. Dean's like, why are you spending, X amount of dollars on your hair? And Sam counters with, why are you spending Y amount of dollars on wax for the car? And things just kind of deteriorated from there.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite things, and I like my part, but I'm not that vain. But I love BJ's and I love Jackie's part. But one of my true favorite things about BJ's part is it's set in season 8, and you really feel that it's like setting a match, to Tinder. Like anything could cause them to blow up because they're so at odds that there's just the spark is there for anything, and you really feel that season 8 vibe of like Sam being like, well, we're not brothers, we're just working together, and you really feel it in that moment, because the sort of the progression, I'm starting with them just like getting, I think I end up sending it between like episode 2 and 3 of the show. Yes, I did Google the locations. I did Google the locations and then zoomed into Google Maps, and I was like, where can I send them in between these two places?
Yeah.
I did do that. So it's super, super early on. And it's like my conflict being around, like, they're still trying to adjust to getting back on the road. Yep. And Sam's like bucking Dean's sort of like control of the situation and, trying to like sort of stand up as his own person. And they're just kind of not quite settled back into it yet. And
then it's very raw and
trying
new.
to grok each other's
the gears have not quite meshed yet. They're still kind of catching on each other. And then you come to BJ and you're like, there's familiarity and there's the gears have locked, but they've locked now. There's no movement. There's only friction, and it just encapsulates season 8 so well. And then you come through to Jackie's, and it's that true acceptance that you get at the end of the show. Not the end because we don't talk about that, but like
towards the end,
season 15, where they're just like, well, this is life now, and everything's moving like fluidly, and
it's compromise. I think there's more compromise, and there's understanding about I think if you think of them as a partnership over the years, I think there's this comfort of like you just kind of know what your partner is going to say, and kind of what they're, so you kind of like you're doing a little dance together, but you kind of know what the end result's going to be, and unless you guys are really pissing each other off, they're kind of like, somebody's probably going to be like, okay, fine, you're right, like that kind of that kind of a thing. I feel like they have at that point towards the end.
They've outgrown arguing for the sake of arguing.
Yeah.
Well, and we managed to go through, because it's the getting to know you, the rockiness in the middle, and the acceptance at the end. And it really, I think it worked out quite nicely.
Yeah.
I think it worked out.
And I really liked in your part, Jackie, they're looking at these tickets that they're not going to be able to take advantage of, and just reflect, Dad would have loved this, and they're So I thought that was a good note to kind of close out on.
Yes, it really, the whole thing just gives you such acceptance, but not like tragic acceptance of we're gonna die young and
not
bloody.
Resignation.
Not resignation, just like, oh well, that would have been nice, but we got work to do. It's just it ends it off so.
Dad would have loved this, but he would have understood the priority here.
Yeah,
and there's nothing bad about that. It is what it is, and
one of the very few things that can invoke John Winchester. I'm not like, oh fuck you, just fuck off. I was like, well, that's a nice memory for them to have. That's nice, and I did like Jackie's inclusion that they would have had to be mad on John's behalf if the Yankees had won the baseball game.
Well, because the Yankees would have won that game.
I
probably.
I don't follow baseball.
But I think too, so like Jackie, at the end, what was yours actually going to end with, and then what did you tack on? Because that, I think, is what really made it just all come together full circle.
So originally I had ended it with just they choose to do the hunt instead of going to the baseball game. And so they leave the tickets on the table in the diner, and Dean is like, I'll meet you outside. And he goes to the bathroom, and Sam walks out, realizing that the busboy had a Yankees cap on back, like it was just sort of like, that maybe that kid will get to use those tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sam walked out to wait for him at the car, and it ended. And I don't think, I had them just get in the car and it went to the end. But so what I added was, I had to think about it because I forgot. What I added was that by the time Dean came out, Sam was like buffing at a spot on the hood because Kasey had them talking about like the special oil for the car, and BJ had them, waxing the car and, griping about the cost of the special wax. And so it was kind of like, it was just a nice little concession, I thought, for Sam to also be worrying about the condition of the car.
Yeah, because that was much different than the beginning in Casey's. Yes.
Yeah, right, I made some. I took some artistic license. I don't think Sam would have been as unpleasant about the Impala as I wrote.
I think he would have been unpleasant about it just to get on Dean's nerves back then, though. I think that's what he would have done and said what he said. Yeah.
The words "damn car" and "fucking car" were used, so my apologies.
I loved that though. I think you guys all. It was like creating music almost together. You know what I mean? Like coming back and forth and like tweaking a little bit or adding a little bit here, doing a little bit there. And I think I really loved how it just, when I was reading it, like all together when it was finally done. And I remember narrating it. I'm like, this story, it's hard to see the different writing styles when you see what the theme and how you guys made it all come together. I think it just has this nice little like rhythm to it of like, up and down and that. So I thought it was really, really good.
It came together much more organically than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can I say the way that the titles worked out?
Yeah,
perfect.
I was just about to say that because like that couldn't have worked out better in like when we're talking about Jackie's bit and the acceptance, not resignation, but the just general acceptance of this is how it is. And Jackie's title, so we took the chorus of the song "Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you." So the title of the fic is "Stuck in the Middle with You." So Jackie had the "Here I am." And it just played into that acceptance and them both just being like, okay, yeah, all right. That was just fucking perfect. Oh, it could not have worked out better.
And you're all each had them kind of butting heads. So it was like clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. And it was just like not mean really, but like just kind of poking.
Yeah, just a little, yeah.
And then with the acceptance, it worked out.
Yeah. And then even though we've butted heads and stuff, but here I am and here we are, and it was so good.
It was really good. I think the more I like listened, because I was listening to the song a lot, like and I was just like, it really did fit so nicely with what you guys put together for the story. So yeah, it's like happy accidents, man. It's just like, it just works out. It's just lovely. Just lovely that way.
Did anybody have that song in their head when they were writing? Because I think we did you? Oh, I didn't. Just writing. I love that.
Although I've had it stuck in my head
partly
since.
Because
yes,
when Sandra asked me for suggestions on where I wanted the song to come in during my part, I had to listen to it half a dozen times to get the timestamps, and then I screwed them up anyway because apparently I can't count.
Well, it was a different version, wasn't it? Like Sandra had a slightly different recording of the song or something?
I think I thought it was a different version, but no, BJ came back like, no, I just can't count.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference between friendships and relationships. Okay, here's the difference. BJ is a wonderful, wonderful human being who I love dearly. And she will do these things. And she will go out of her way. And she'll be like, I provided you with all the information and timestamps and stuff like that. And what I said to Sandra, who again, our friendship is about to start Big People School, I just went, Just do it at the start of the chorus. I didn't give her a fucking timestamp. I gave her nothing. I should bring it in at the start of the chorus.
Well, because I don't have the same comfort level with Sandra that Kasey does. And I didn't want to make her already complicated job any more difficult than it already was.
And that's
BJ.
so nice. That's so nice.
Sweet.
That's how friendship should be.
That's so
That's
sweet.
so fucking sweet. I'm just a dickhead.
That and I overdo things. It's an anxiety response.
I will say what I used to be, and I still am that way in a lot of other parts of my life. But doing this with Sandra and having the division that we have is putting that trust in somebody and knowing that I can give Sandra an idea and she's going to go and do it. And I don't have to like micromanage her. But I do like the idea that you're just like such a genuinely good friend. You're like, yeah, I did all the things. And I was like, I don't know, just whatever. Fuck it, you know?
Because that can be taken the wrong way too, because advice I despise in bad managers is telling me how to do my job, and that's the kind of thing that can be taken that way. Like
yeah.
I don't want Sandra to feel like I'm trying to tell her how to edit because she knows a lot more about it than I do.
No, I mean, I didn't.
I've guaranteed she appreciated that because I provide her with that shit.
Well, no, because I think when we're talking about this, I mean, the collaborative part that you guys did, it didn't just end there. Then it was like, I'm going to do this thing. And I think this ties into one of the questions that I had, because I was thinking about this. Like, I've podficked a story for each of you. Like, you both have gotten me podficking your story or one of your stories, or the way I told BJ the other day, I said, do I have a carte blanche to just, if I ever want to podfic one of your stories, can I do it? And she was like, sure. Yeah, go ahead. Like, I'm
going to do Ways of Childhood, right?
Oh, yeah. That's basically why I asked, because I was like, at some point I've got to get that. I've got to do that.
I'll sharpen my favorite knife.
Okay.
So that you can, so I'm ready when you rip my guts out with your narration.
Okay.
I'll be ready.
Because usually I just here, I did this thing, or I ask you guys, you give me an idea, and then I podficked. So you didn't have any input, right, as to how I delivered a line, or what you kind of felt in certain that. So going through the process of hearing the narration or then giving me feedback. I mean, BJ, I think that's lovely that you're you didn't want to feel like you were stepping on my toes.
I didn't want to step on toes.
Yeah, but collaboratively, I needed to know if you guys didn't, felt like something was off or needed to get changed a little bit. So I think Jackie was, there was one note that I remember that there was a beat that I had to take a little bit longer. So he's like, well, that's easy. I can just stretch that baby out. Right. There we go. It was one Mississippi. I was like, okay, one Mississippi. There we go. Kind of a thing. So, I mean, this
I
part
found
was
it exceptionally inconvenient.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry it inconvenienced you.
But this part was different. No. And in terms of this, there were a lot of parts to this that were different. It wasn't just listening to me narrate. So just how did you guys feel that went and being able to
exceptionally inconvenienced?
Okay, well, I
just told you.
All right, well, I guess.
Do you want me to explain that, or are you just going to let that go out on the internet and make me sound like a cop? You weren't you? You were just going to leave that in there so I sound like a dick. No,
never.
I'm joking. I did not feel inconvenienced, but it was like you said, you've podficked quite a few fics of mine, just for narration practice, especially when we're getting started. And we were like, well, we know we can do our own work, so that's it. So I am very used to, and again, that the division of labor with the podcast. I just hand stuff off to Sandra, and she goes away, and she comes back, and she's like, this. And I go, yeah, that's cool. When we started this podcast, I used to listen to every episode before it went out, and I would
not anymore.
Sandra would edit it, and then she would be like, hey, go listen to this, and I'd listen to it, and I'd go back, and I'm like, oh, maybe this, you got to take that out, or be like, no, it's good to go. I don't anymore because we've been doing this for so fucking long. I can add nothing to Sandra's editing process unless she specifically says to me,
I need you to listen because I don't remember. It's I need another set of ears. Yeah. And very, very, very memorably when you asked me to listen to a podfic that you've done because you were like, I'm unsure about this. And it was excellent.
So, and it always is. So it was very weird to me to keep getting updated versions of the audio and Sandra be like, can you go listen to this? Can you listen to this? What do you think? And I was like, baby, I trust you. Do what you want to do. Because like, I'm not going to speak on BJ's part or Jackie's part because that's for them to have an opinion on. But I had nothing on my part. I was like, no notes every time. It's fine. Do whatever you want to do. I feel like I'm taking away from this process by being involved. Just tell me when it's finished. So enormously inconvenienced by your editing process, Sandra. Like 2 out of 10. Please do better.
Well, really?
You keep digging yourself in, so I don't know why. So
when this goes out, because I won't listen to the episode before it goes live, because I don't, she's going to take out all that explanation point and then just have me going, I was very inconvenienced by the process. 2 out of 10, Sandra, do better. And I'm never going to fucking know. So if she does that, somebody comment and let me fucking know.
It'll just be the promo. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
I'm getting the evil edit from the reality show. Sorry, everyone else, carry on.
I think I only had the one line reading that I gave some feedback on, but other than that,
I thought it was interesting because you know, before if somebody says, "Hey, I want to read your fic," you're just like, "Cool," and you're just like, "I'll just sit here quietly and wait for the results."
Yeah,
but you know, you recorded it and you gave it to us, and you said, "How is it? Give me feedback." So I was like, "Oh, okay," you know, and that's why I was like, "This one little pause should be longer." But otherwise, you know, I've listened to enough of your narrations. I was like, "No, this is great." I knew you had their voices down, you know, well, and most of what it was dialogue. You know, on my part in particular, and but it was fun because I know that you put up with me providing input on the panning, which is the technical term, Kasey, if you wanted to know, between the left-right balance, which we discovered while we were playing with this. You know, just trying to get it so it didn't feel like it was all one ear, all one, all the other and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I sent a screenshot of like how many tracks like I was actually working with at the time. I was like, I think my brain is going to break because having to put labels in between so that things wouldn't shift over, or then keeping things together so they would shift at the same time if I needed to split them up. I was just like, oh, wow. I'm like, okay, note to Sandra, please don't ever do this again. This is not a good idea. But yeah, talking about the dialogue part, didn't Dreamer say to you, Kasey, Sandra's really not going to like you because you got so much dialogue? I'm like, how else are you going to do it? They're in the car. They have to be talking to each other.
I believe a comment was made about that.
Yeah. But I mean, I thought
they're in the car.
That's the whole point. Like they're supposed to be having conversations. We love it when they just talk to each other. Like that's one of the things we enjoy. So I think we worked on it all together and had that happen. Yeah. I really love doing the sound effects. I was having fun with that. I was like, okay, let me see if we can find something that matches this and that matches that. I found so many hotel ambient backgrounds. I was like, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. And then I found something that had like some street noises outside when they were outside with BJ's, and then like the bus boy for Jackie and like the diner background. I was like, oh, this is perfect. Like, this is awesome that somebody did this that I can use. Kasey's was really easy because I have so many. I eased
you into it because you use like car sound effects and stopping and starting and stuff for the podcast. So you were like, this is old hat.
And then I was like, this is great too, because I feel like it gets very meta kind of for us as our podcast, because I thought I could start it with the engine starting and it could end it's just like one of our podfics anyway, and how we start an episode and how we end an episode. And I'm like, it's all kind of like works together.
And idling in the Impala production.
There we go. I should have done that in the beginning. God damn it.
Damn it.
But that's okay.
Great.
That's okay.
I love that. I'll make a note of that.
Remember me in your author's note.
And we named ourselves the Idlers. That was like, we had to come up with a group name. So I don't know if we're ever going to be noted as that, but we had to submit it as that. Because we were like, what are we going to call ourselves? And we're like, I think we were coming with like really long. So I'm like, I think we should go shorter. We just need to go with like one word, or we're going to be forever and a day with it.
The road crew? I don't know.
But I really loved it. And then getting to do the artwork for the podfic too, where like,
which is also fucking stunning.
I went like a little retro, like an album. And I was like, this works. I feel like this works. I did a whole banner, and I'm like, no, let's just bring it back to like an album situation. So I'm really proud of it. I think you guys did such an amazing job with it to give me something to work with that. Because sometimes you read stuff, but like when you read something and you know when you see all of the process, when you're there for all of it, it feels, I guess, even more special. So to get to work with you all on it was like, I was like, this is great. I'd be like, let's do this again, but I don't know if we should. So, but I mean, you never know. You never know.
Never say never.
I'm game.
Oh no, we've opened the place.
Don't. Sandra's not allowed to commit to anything right now.
Not right now.
Right.
But next year. Next year.
Next
Pod
year,
Together.
maybe.
Pod Together 2026, maybe. Because I was thinking, and I did say this to Kasey, I'm like, if we do want to do this again, maybe we just start earlier. Like, so we really like kind of like think about it and do the whole thing. But I don't know. We'll see. I did like, again, this was really nice that this only had to be 1,000 words, because from the editing aspect and the mastering of it, like it wasn't a really long project to do. So maybe it only ended up being 20 minutes final. But I was maybe like an hour, narrating it to like, mistakes and stuff. But then another, like, it was a little bit more just because of the sound effects this time and like the music. So that part of it added a little bit to it, but it wasn't like this huge project that was like going to take, days and days. So it was nice to have the chance to do that with you guys and like have your feedback and stuff. So
what did our word count end up coming in at with all three parts combined?
2,700 and something, I think. So it wasn't even 3,000. Which was good.
Just a little bit under the 1,000.
Everybody was very concerned about how long it was going to take Sandra to do the narration. So I was like, well, just as long as we don't get like too crazy, so it shouldn't take too long to do. So, and I think that was a hard thing, like you said, Jackie. Word count, right? Like doing a lot more with a lot less, I think, is a skill that I would say we probably all struggle with a time or two.
Yes.
So it was nice to kind of be like, can we do the thing? It's okay if you go over. It's like I don't. If you feel like you need more words to say what you need to say, that's fine. But you don't have to go. Have to go crazy about it. Like just write what you feel like you need to do. Keeping it to a scene helps too.
Yes,
I think that helped, and I think like having the knowledge in the back of your head that like you're not just writing this to be written, you're writing this to be performed as well.
Right.
Certainly had an impact, like kind of like working backwards with that in mind, because you can trust the process there and say, okay, well, what I want to get across here can be partly in the performance. I don't have to spell every little thing out, which I do think really helped as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And at time of us recording this now, just 2 days ago, I submitted the final, like I said, sent it off to the Pod Together mods, said it's done. They've got it. I think they're going to start to reveal, I believe the timeline is like, I think it's like the first week or something in.
I know the deadline is
Thursday, August 28th reveals start, and Saturday, September 6th reveals end. So I don't know where in this time frame it's going to get released, but we've got like maybe by next week we might start to, we might hear it. And then this podcast recording, I think, is going to come out on the 9th. So by then people will have had a chance
It'll be out,
to listen to it.
Nice.
When we finally get access to the fucking draft back again, we will add a note.
That was a thing.
A YouTube link and a Spotify link.
We should probably talk about AO3's like lovely, that part.
Recording. We can't like that's not to say that we can't access it in any capacity, because we can, but because it has been submitted to a as yet to be revealed collection,
it's like a mystery reveal. Yeah,
it is a like mystery work, and it is not in any of our drafts. We cannot like just see it sitting there. It's like it's been taken away now, and we can go track it down and find it, but we didn't fucking know that it was going to disappear at the time we submitted it. Yep. I was on a call with Sandra,
Kasey and I were like,
I submitted it. I hit like go, and then I was like, wait, where the fuck has it gone? Oh God, it's not in my drafts. It's not in my works. Oh shit, where has it gone? And Sandra was like, oh, it's not in my drafts either. Oh, dicks.
And then I was like, wait a minute, we can find the collection. If we find the collection, we can get into it. And in the collection, yeah, you are able to get back into it.
You can get into it, but like,
it's a little fussy.
Know that was the thing that AO3 did. Well, I was not.
It would have been nice to have gotten, I think, a warning, like, but again, like maybe like it's just one of those things you just don't know. You just if people are like, oh well.
Disclaimer: we all love, respect, and revere AO3. So this is
we do. We have
a process that might work a little better than it does.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The thing is, it's not a problem with AO3. It's a problem with a user, which was me. And now I know that it's going to do that. That's not a problem.
But you've also said I never want to do one of these again and have that happen.
I did say that. I've never had a work just vanish on me before, and I was like, oh shit, that's like everybody's stuff, not just mine.
Yeah. Well, this was the first time too. Like I remember you had to walk everybody through co-creators, Kasey, because like again, like BJ and Jackie had never done that before either.
Peeps don't collab, yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was certainly an adventure in things we didn't know about AO3 as well.
Yeah.
But yes, there was a brief period of time where I was very
there was panic. There was panic.
There was like, not even mild panic. It was moderate panic.
Because I was like, how am I going to get back into it to do the thing? Wait a minute. What do I have to do? I'm like,
where the fuck did the thing go? So I went into the pod together and I was like, okay, nobody fucking panic. It has disappeared from your drafts. Don't worry about it. You can find it here. But I also didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah,
so, Fun. That was not a fun time for me.
Fun
that
times.
Was not.
It always makes me wonder about people that write in AO3, and I've run into a few people that use like instead of just like copying and pasting in, they actually like
they tell you not to do that though. They tell you not to do.
I know. But every once in a while, you'll hear about somebody that did it, and I'm like, oh my God, it could just vanish. And then sometimes they do, and I'm like, no.
Brave individuals.
You are aware that skydiving is a thing that you can do for adrenaline. Fucking hell.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Good Lord.
Well, we're going to wrap up soon, but I just wanted to get final thoughts from everybody. This is the whole process and what we think of it.
10 out of 10 would pod together again.
Oh, wasn't 2 out of 10 like me and my coming back to you?
10 out of 10 would podfic again, would also complain about being asked to review said podfic, because Sandra, I trust you. I have given you my vague instructions, and you have never failed to interpret and enact my vague instructions exactly the way I envisioned them before. I don't know why you need my input now. No, okay. 10 out of 10, like 100%. And also, actually, before we do final thoughts, sorry, Dreamer, obviously, she helped brainstorm, so she helped like just like keep throwing ideas into the pot, and she did the beta, which is again, we all have different styles and we're from different generations, so we have different thoughts and opinions about grammar and stylistic grammar choices, and Dreamer was the one that kind of came in and
together,
standardized things, and some double spaces had to be taken out, and
wrong,
I think
but I can live with it.
I think taken out might be too gentle, prized from hands a little bit.
I think what's great about Dreamers, though, she will give you the reason why, but you'll say at the end of the day, it's still up to you. And I think that's what's I love working with her as a beta, because I don't get everything betaed all the time. Like Kasey and Dreamer are like alpha betas. What are you, like alphas to each other, and then she's your beta
readers, then she betas for me, and she has a different person that betas for her. She doesn't beta her own work.
But BJ, do you normally get your stuff baited, or do you just put it out? Like, because I'm like one of those people, unless I've got to do it for a challenge or something, it's got to be baited. I just put it out there.
I do ask for feedback occasionally, because I've picked Kasey's brain a few times. MJ, I've asked for her opinion. Formal beta-ing, I don't usually do that.
Okay.
Because I spent so long, I didn't participate in fandom for a variety of reasons for a really long time. So I'm kind of the new kid when it comes to this stuff. I mean,
Mhm.
a lot of y'all have known each other, 5, 10, 15 years across multiple fandoms. I'm just over here like, yeah, I just reactivated my Tumblr a year ago and you have no idea who I am. But please read my 90 plus page and still going fic of a TV show that I've only seen 2 episodes of.
Oh my gosh.
That's a very strong candidate for the storytellers contest.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
There we
Yeah, it's
go.
the biggest commitment to date, and I'm actually quite frightened.
Oh, I'm
Oh, it'd be good.
You'll be fine. And the Discord, like the group remains open. We will assist.
Yeah.
It's okay.
and BJ, another first, we kind of brought you not kicking and screaming, but Google.
I wasn't kicking and screaming. I was just I was apprehensive because this is a new experience, and I knew that y'all would cut me all possible slack, and you did, and I appreciate you for that. I love you for that. But not to skip ahead or anything, but yeah, I enjoyed this a lot. If we're going to do this again next year, sign me up.
Aw, yay!
I even have an idea for a thematic through line already.
Look at this.
As long as we're doing songs, you ever heard "We Are the Road Crew" by Motorhead?
No,
I haven't.
No, I can't say I have.
I think it's something that could be worked with.
Look at that.
Road Crew by Motorhead.
Look at that.
Okay.
See, we're not going to stop BJ now. BJ's going to be signing up left and right for
DJ's
shit.
signing up for things. This is it now. This is it.
I'm not insane. Clear about that.
Yeah, you say that now. You say that now. Come back to us in a year and you're like, I can't sign up for any more fucking things.
No, BJ, the one thing I was going to say was about like the fact that we had to work on in Google, and you were like, I like the Google thing, like Google Docs and all that
Google.
stuff.
Like, how is
Google
this?
Docs.
What is happening?
And it was just like, it was one of those things where like, it makes my heart happy that you're like, I'll give this a try if we have to do the thing for us to work together. So I appreciate that they did that, because I was also not a Google person, for a lot of reasons either. And now I kind of do everything in there, which I really wish I didn't. And I know we're going to have to probably at some point move to something else.
Yeah.
I would very much appreciate another platform. I know there's ellipsis and stuff like that, but the
they don't work
convenience
quite the same. Yeah.
Convenience of collaboration in Google, because I didn't use Google until I met Dreamer. We would be exchanging Word documents back and forth in emails and stuff like that. And then I was like, can I just put this in Google and then I could comment on it in real time and stuff like that? And, I would never look back from that. But
it's not going to be an everyday thing
No.
because I found it kind of a pain in the ass, and I am firmly, welded to MS Word platforms.
That's understandable.
But being at least passingly familiar is something that's probably going to come in handy.
I think so. Yeah, I think it helps. It helps to, know a little bit about the ins and outs. What's Dean's line? Like, just good enough to get into
Just
something.
good enough. We know just enough to be dangerous. Is that what it was?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. Something like that.
It's never a bad time to learn new software, to be fair. But no, I get it. If you had found it intolerable, we would have just exchanged emails. We would have just passed the Word document back and forth. It would not have been a problem. In any capacity.
Yeah.
But Jackie. Final
thoughts.
What was the question again?
No, just final thoughts about the process and stuff.
Oh, right. I got so wrapped up in listening, I forgot. I enjoyed it. I did. It was nice. Like I said, I think it was a great first collaboration project because it was low word count. It's working with people that I've talked with before. I've, worked with y'all before. Although I enjoyed getting a chance to work with BJ.
Me too. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was interesting. I thought it was really kind of cool writing, because for me, like, I wasn't listening to music. I wasn't really thinking about the song when I was writing, but I was thinking about the sound of it when I was writing it. I thought that was really cool. I was thinking more about, where they were, it made it a little easier to place them in space, because I was trying to think about how you could add sound effects or just, how that would work.
I feel like I could see that right, like in your writing, like you're placing things in there that you know are going to be like the bus boy was like a thing, like, you know, like, or just like I think with BJ, like being outside with the car, you know, and then the music playing, and like, you know, this would be a good spot where like the music of the song actually comes in. Like, you know, I don't think that was initially what was going to happen, but then it was like, this would be a great point for it, like, you know, to come in. And, you know, I think with Kasey, even though Kasey's probably was not, but like what Sam was doing, getting out of the car, getting into the car, driving up to a certain spot, like, you know, there were just moments that felt like you kind of were almost like directing it in a way, like writing and directing it almost at the same time, which I don't think some of us kind of have that video or that film running in our head when we're writing. Some people don't do that as much. And I think you guys were probably like doing that more for this project, I feel like. So, yeah.
I'm just going to be just a tiny bit self-depreciating for a second, because I never am. I'm an absolute beacon of positivity. I think that's really funny that Jackie was coming at it from like an editor's perspective. You know, you do your own editing, so you're thinking about like this sound and that, and then BJ's coming at it from a musical perspective and thinking about the song and how that ties in. I was just vibing, man. I was just vibing. I wasn't thinking about nothing. I was just like, I'm gonna write a happy little scene in the car.
But that's great though too, because I know
that's a valid approach.
Yeah. And I know
Totally.
how you write. You're always about how you get into people's heads, you know, very cerebral. Like you talk about this all the time, cerebral. And like getting into Sam's head is like, even though you complain about him, you're in it an awful lot. And you like, you know, he was
a good boy.
He was a good boy in this one. He was a good boy in this one, but it was still like a little bit angsty, a little bit uncertainty, and like, you know, again, I think the back and forth of like the time frames and how you guys weaved in past stuff worked really well overall. So yeah.
And I can't believe it took me until now to think of this. I think that might be why we all unconsciously and not deliberately picked Sam as a POV character, because you can chart the growth of their relationship by the attitude he has in that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See? Look at you guys. Oh, brilliant.
Look, we're so clever, guys.
So
we're
clever.
So clever.
So accidentally clever of us.
Accidentally clever. That's what's great about
We'll
writing,
tell you
though.
it was deliberate. Will you believe it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's great.
Any point we give you the idea that we know what we're doing, we do apologize.
That's a motto for my life.
Well, I think we did a good thing if we're like, you know what, we would consider doing this again. So I think that's
10 out of 10.
Oh, I want to know.
We'll do again.
Yeah.
Sandra, what were your final thoughts?
No,
Yes.
like I said,
Look at Jackie, like she does her own podcast. That was great.
no, really, I was hesitant because last year I did a voice team 2024, and actually I think I done like a podfic for BJ and Jackie for like one of the challenges I had to do for that. But being forced into a group with people that I didn't know, my lurking and my introvert, I didn't make the connections that I was hoping to make with that. So in this way, getting to pick people that I knew I wanted to work with made it much more comfortable. Like I said, I know you guys. I've spent time with all of you in some capacity, shape, or form. And so I know the people that I'm getting to work with, and I was comfortable with that. And I knew you guys, you knew how I podficked, because I'd done it for all of you. So I knew that wasn't going to be like a shocker or something like that too. But it was just getting the chance to work with people that I really admire. That was really great. And I was like, hey, you know, I think it's really great. I think we did a stellar job together. I really do. I think that it's a good encapsulation of us and the boys, which I think is a really, like, I'd like to talk about time capsules and stuff like that with, everybody. And I feel like this is like a moment that's like, here, this is what we did in fandom at this moment together with the boys. And I think that's really, really special. And I like that. And so, yes, it was a great 100%. Experience. Great experience.
Yeah.
The moral of the story is grab your buddies for your bad ideas.
Yeah.
Take them with you.
And blame it, and always blame it on someone else if you can.
We're a family, and families find someone to blame for their problems.
Exactly.
No, but Jackie, thank you for bringing that to us.
I'm a huge fan of Jackie
it was a
being
good
like,
thing, yeah.
throwing that out and then just being like, oh no, I didn't expect this to come back.
Dropping the mic and then like, oh, I didn't know this was gonna be a thing.
Oh Lord. Yeah.
Because I have that tendency that once I get to know somebody a little bit and I'm out and about, tootling about on the internet, and I see a thing that reminds me of the person, I throw it towards them.
I love that.
Thing.
I love that.
Trolling is a legitimate thing, and I love it. And I love that it's becoming mainstream and accepted because I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that when it came back, I wasn't, again, I was like, I should have thought of that. I didn't see that coming. But yes, of course I will do this thing that I lobbed at you.
No, I appreciate you guys going on the journey with me because I think it was fun. I think we did a really good thing. I think people are going to really like it too when they get to hear it. I'm excited. I'm excited for the feedback.
I'm proud of the story. I am proud of the story, and I think the narration and the performance, the sound of it all is beautiful. So you must leave us comments on the AO3, and you must leave us comments on this video because tip your waiters and comment your creators, guys. Comments.
Very pithy. I like that.
I'm so proud of that. I'm going to put it in my official fucking intro, outro, ending. I can do words.
Yeah,
you should. That's good.
Well,
it's not my fault. It's 2 a.m.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Kasey, should we do the outro while our buddies are with us so we could just get it done? Or we might end up talking. We might end up talking another 10 minutes and we need to do more recording tomorrow morning. Do you realize this?
Oh my God.
Do you realize it's early that you have to, it's 9 a.m. for me. So yeah.
2 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're recording. You don't want me to get up even earlier and do Samwin before.
No, that's insanity. We're going to do it after. We're going to do it after because we've got an early 9 a.m. We've got a 9 a.m. interview, and then we've got to do other stuff. Yeah.
It's 9 a.m. for Sandra. It's not 9 a.m. for me.
No.
It's 2 p.m. for me, which means I can sleep until about midday.
Yeah. So we should wrap up this episode. Yeah, shouldn't we? Should we wrap up this episode, Kasey?
We should wrap up this episode. Is everyone happy with their final thoughts? Does anybody have any more final thoughts to add?
I think.
No, I think this is a good stopping point.
Excellent.
Okay. Well, we want to thank everybody else for listening and let us know what you thought of the episode. You can email us at idlingintheimpala@gmail.com. You can comment on Spotify in the Q&A section, leave a YouTube comment, join our Discord, and chat with fellow idlers and us in real time. Check out our merch store, which is another fun way to show your support. You can find details for everything on our website. That's idlingintheimpala.com. One of you learners... What?
It's like there's not a pause or a breath or anything in that last bit. Go breathe.
Why I did breathe. Want to fuel our supernatural road trip? Consider joining us on Ko-fi for as little as $1 a month. We have perks to go along with different membership tiers, and would love to have you along for the ride.
Speaking of perks, we've got special shout outs for some of our Ko-fi members. From our Shotgun Picks and Music tier, we've got Runaway Dreamer, Crowley's Mistress, Sam and Dean 76, and Elia. From our own Mrs. Butters tier, we've got Charlie. Thanks for picking the tunes in the car and keeping the lights on in the bunker. Support like yours keeps our podcast going. Thanks. Don't forget, you can always support us for free by liking, commenting, subscribing on YouTube, and following, rating, sharing on audio platforms. Engagement like that really helps us with the algorithms. All hail their benevolence. As always, we have the causes we support in the description. So from me, you have LGBTQ plus talking charities. From Sandra, you have mental health charities. And of course, the main causes we are always highlighting, championing, spotlighting are World Central Kitchen and Doctors Without Borders. If you want to know more about these causes, why we're supporting them, and what they mean to us, check out idlingintheimpala.com. There's a page. Check out idlingintheimpala.com. There's a page there called Cause is Cause with all the details. So with that, we will say huge thank you to Jackie and BJ for joining us. Thank you for joining us in the back seat, and we will see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good one, y'all.
Bye.